Are McLaren really that good? Last weekend in the Formula One Spanish Grand Prix, we saw Max Verstappen take the win in his Red Bull car for the seventh time this year. But for once, it was exciting again. Since Miami earlier this year, we have seen other teams such as Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes finally compete for wins for once. And that was the first time since early 2022. Last weekend, Lando Norris went on a late race drive, just to come short to the race win after unbelievable pace after being held up by George Russell for the majority of the, like half the race. Leaving that weekend, we did see Lando Norris beating himself up after the loss, saying that he should have won the race. Lando Norris even stated, "We came away with a lot of points, and the car was amazing today. I think we were the quickest out there." I mean, that's a lot of confidence for a car that's been at the back of the field in the past 2 years. It's been at the front. Even though they were unable to walk away with the win, it still did look like McLaren had the pace to win, and was relatively faster than the Red Bull, at least on the newer tires, which they positioned themselves to get every time the Max pitted. This weekend we will see the Austrian Grand Prix, which has had many new changes to stop the insane amount of track limits issues we had last year. This year we will see curbs and sand traps around the track that were not there before. This will serve as a deterrent to cars going off the track in order to brake less and be faster on the current fastest track in Formula One. Unfortunately, these changes cannot be as major as we would like to because of the motorcycle racing that is considered a big deal around the Red Bull Ring. But it will be extremely effective for this weekend, as there was only one major track limits time deletion for Lewis Hamilton in sprint qualifying. 47 violations happened in Austria 2023, with 12 official FIA penalties being handed out. So even with the new changes, we could definitely be seeing something interesting happening at any point in the driver's field. Both McLarens, and particularly Lando Norris, has hyped up the car to be the fastest on the grid going into the triple header in Europe. As of right now, they are P2 and P3 for the sprint race coming tomorrow, behind the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. Lando was able to get pole position for Spain last week, and yet here we are. It was also known that Max Verstappen had an engine failure earlier that morning, where he had to be rolled back into his pit after a red flag caused by him. Now, a P2 and P3 is good, but what's to say that Lando can even keep up with Max once the red lights go out? Seems like a huge risk when this is one of Lando's best tracks. I will say that at least both McLarens were able to get a lap time in. I'm looking at you, Charles.